Hey guys, welcome back to I'm Just a Fan. It's your host Ben, and today we're going to be talking about Kevin Durant trade speculation. There's been a lot of rumors going around, and again, even a couple days ago, as of June 12th, that the Suns are pretty much confirmed to trade him within the next week. It could even happen before the NBA Finals end. So I wanted to get this out there before the trade hopefully doesn't happen, just so we could talk about this and just figure out what are the best options for KD. We'll look at some of the packages. Again, what makes most sense for him, the teams involved, and what do I want to see just in general. And I'd love to know what you guys think down below. Where would you guys want to see KD go? Or where do you even think he would be the best fit in the NBA with the teams that are interested? Just let me know in the comments. I'll definitely be responding. So as mentioned, June 12th, it came out from John Gambadoro that KD was expected to be traded from the Suns in about the next week. And again, this could even happen before the NBA Finals. This doesn't really shock me. I mean, we've been having discussions about KD potentially getting traded for the last month and a half, 2 months. They didn't even make the playoffs, which is just embarrassing with that roster. But I think it's good for KD to get out of Phoenix. There's really nothing there for him at this point. Which is a shame because, Phoenix was really such an interesting team just a couple years ago with Chris Paul, Bridges, Ayton, Booker, but they're just a shell of themselves, and I really mostly blame it on the new owner. But again, this is not a video about the Phoenix Suns. It's about KD. So, yeah, expect for KD to be traded, but a new report came out today, which was huge, and this is what really inspired me to make this video, and this is from Shams. As of today, the Heat, the Rockets, and the Wolves appear to be the finalists for the teams that are interested in KD. So no Knicks, no Spurs, even though there was a report that came out a few days ago to about a weekish ago that KD would prefer to go to the Spurs, and we'll talk about that at the end of the video. But the Knicks aren't involved either. I know that's something that's been discussed as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that they did consider trying to trade for him at the deadline. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case right now, at least. So again, we have 3 teams that are actually interested, and I'm just going to go through their packages, what they're going to be providing, what they would be giving up, the fit, and do I like it overall. So the first team that's interested is the Houston Rockets. This one's been out there for a little bit, and I will also link this article down in the description below. I am reading off trade scenarios from a certain article. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head while recording this, but it will be in the description below. That's where I'm getting all of these trade packages from, so credit to the author, and I know it's from ESPN, so credit to ESPN for doing this. I'm just going off of a hypothetical trade package, so we'll see. But the first team interested, again, is the Rockets, and ESPN says that the Rockets would trade for KD, and the Suns would get Dillon Brooks, Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore, Jack Landay, I can't remember I can't remember. I just don't know what my handwriting looks like right now. The number 10 pick in 2025 and a first round pick in 2027. So off the bat, I don't really hate this trade for either team. I mean, the main things that you're giving up here, which is potential risk for Houston, is yes, you're giving up some picks, of course, and you are giving up Reed Shepherd, who really has not been great as a rookie. So there's still the potential upside, but in my opinion, the return of value is worth it with KD, just because for me personally, losing Dillon Brooks, yes, okay, Dillon Brooks is a good player, he's a solid player, he knows his role. But am I losing sleep over losing Dillon Brooks? No, I'm not. Also, that team is very good defensively. They have a lot of other pieces regardless. So losing him, I don't think kills them. And again, they are a defensive culture with Ime. I think KD would try to buy into that. And when you look at it from a pure fit standpoint, this team needs a scorer so bad, and they need a veteran so bad as well. They looked young. I mean, even though they were, the 2 seed. They were the 2 seed this year. Again, they come up small. It was a tough series, but they come up small against the Warriors, an old team. It's not like that team was, the Warriors of the last couple years. No, it's an older team, really carried by Steph. Yes, you had Jimmy, but in my opinion, I don't think Jimmy even did that good in the playoffs. Draymond was still balling out as well, but that's really all Golden State has. Yes, they have Kuminga, but again, it was an aging Warriors team, and they couldn't beat them. And the main thing for Houston was just a lack of overall scoring. They really just couldn't score at times, or it was a lot tougher to score, really relying on Thompson as well. And I think, again, if KD comes on that team, he just gives you a guy that's minimum dropping 25, 28 points a game, and you're still not taking away touches from Thompson and, Van Vliet. Like, you still have him there. Sengun, he's not a part of the trade, obviously. So I think it would be very, just overall very good fit in my opinion. Again, we'll have to see what happens. And I should have mentioned this earlier prior to me actually talking about the trades now. But my main thing with this is that any of these trades are made, KD is hypothetically signing a new contract because he only has 1 year left on his deal. And I think that's why Phoenix has had to lower the price a little bit for him because, again, this guy only has 1 year left on his deal. He's aging. He's 36, 37. He's still a great player, but it's a lot to give up for a guy that potentially might not even be on your team in a year. So hypothetically, with all these trades, I'm assuming that KD would be re-signing. So if KD was to re-sign as well and would agree to the trade, I think it would be a great fit for both parties. Phoenix would get back some picks. They get back some decent players as well, just to kind of build around Booker and I guess Beal. I just forget Beal is there because he's so irrelevant at this point. But overall, I really like the trade for both parties. The next team involved is the Miami Heat. Wasn't expecting this one, to be honest, but this is the package that ESPN has schemed up. So the Heat would receive KD. The Suns would get Nikola Jovic. They would get Wiggins as well. They would get a 2025 first, a 2030 first, and a 2026 second. Now, here's where things get a little interesting as well. To help with some of the salary with all of this, the Nets would get involved in a three-way trade. They would take on Duncan Robinson's contract. They'd also get Keshad Johnson. They get a 2029 first round swap, which is top 4 protected, a 2031 first round swap, which is also top 4 protected, and a 2031 second round. So when we look at pure package here, I think KD going there obviously would be fine. The Suns, I really wouldn't mind that, honestly, for what they're getting. I mean, you're getting a solid player in Jovic. He's not terrible. He definitely still has some upside, even though he's a younger player. Wiggins, he hasn't really been what we've hoped he could have been prior to, or post finals. But again, he's obviously, he's shown that he can do that if he's in the right environment. So we'll see there. And again, that's a couple bodies now with, again, Booker and Beal. It's just, I don't know, it changes things up a little bit. And you also get a 2025 first to help out with drafting, and then a 2030 first, for which the Heat, in my opinion, could be a very good pick, just because, again, the Heat, I don't know, the Heat are aging. So not too bad. And then you get a second next year. I don't hate it for the Nets as well. You get someone to pay just because that team is not good, and they're gonna have to give out a contract to someone. So Duncan Robinson could help, and then I really like that they would get the 2 top 4 protected picks in the next couple of years. I think that could be huge. So we'll see, but from a pure package standpoint, I don't necessarily hate it. But when we talk about the fit, I'm not with it. I just don't see the point of Miami even getting involved for Kevin Durant. Why would you? Well, not why would you want Kevin Durant? More, why would Kevin Durant want to go to Miami? Jimmy Butler's not on this team anymore. This is not the Miami Heat of the last couple of years. This is not Heat culture Heat. No, this is a team that just barely squeaked into the 8 seed because they're now playing merchants, and they literally got swept in the most embarrassing fashion in NBA history. A team has not been outscored that much ever in a 4-0 series from what I remember. So just embarrassing. And again, yes, you have Bam, you have Hero, and then KD. That's solid. I think that maybe gets you a little bit higher into the playoffs for the East because the East is so weak. But does that move me at all? Absolutely not. That's not a contender in the East, and that's not a contender with a lot of teams in the West. Just doesn't move me at all. I just really don't like the fit. I don't know why. I feel like you're trying to squeeze the juice out of a roster that is just not really there, in my opinion. If I'm Miami, blow it up. Just nuke the whole team, man. It's time to nuke the team. I know Pat Riley's old. Maybe he wants to go out on his last hurrah, but just nuke the team. I just do not see it with this move. I really hope Kevin Durant does not go to the Miami Heat, but we will see. The third team that's interested in trading for Kevin Durant is the Minnesota Timberwolves. There have been some rumors here and there about it, but they've started to heat up. And the trade that ESPN has is the Wolves receive KD, and the Suns would get Rudy Gobert, DiVincenzo, and Rob Dillingham. For me personally, I'm not in love with the fit for KD being on the Wolves. Hypothetically, yes, I think it would be good to put another scorer next to Ant, take some leverage off of him. I don't really hate any of that. But let's say, at least with the article that I was reading, they were saying if Randall was to re-sign. Randall, KD, and Ant. Not bad, but that's a lot to invest in. Again, Randall was better this year. He really was, and I'm not taking that away from him. But in the biggest moment, and especially against OKC, man, did he crumble. He crumbled big time. So I'm not in love with the inconsistency there. I still think he's a good player. I'm not saying he's trash or anything, but there's some inconsistency there. And then you're also investing in an aging Kevin Durant, and you're trading away one of your better defensive players in Rudy, who is also obviously a fantastic rebounder. Yes, you at least get off the contract, but you're going to be paying KD. You lose a solid bench player as well in DiVincenzo. I just think it makes Minnesota a little thin in the West. And let's say KD gets hurt. All of a sudden, you're now just Ant, Randall, and you're down Gobert, and you're down DiVincenzo. So I just don't like the fit for... It's not that I necessarily think it would be a terrible fit, but I just think there's so much risk there. And I just think when you're Minnesota and you have a guy like Ant, you really, really got to be careful to not mess this up. Because if you go all in and things don't work, I'm pretty sure Ant's going to be knocking at your door to, bro's going to be requesting a trade if things don't work out in the next couple of years if you were to trade for Durant. So I just don't love it. But for Phoenix, I really like it. You get Beal, you get Booker, you get Gobert, and you get DiVincenzo. I'm not saying that's a great team, but that's something to work with. That's something. So I don't know. I don't hate that for the Suns. But for Minnesota, I just think it's slightly a little bit of a risk because you got to consider how much depth you're potentially losing for, again, an aging star who's still a great player, but he's aging. And I don't know. I don't like losing all that depth. That's really what's made Minnesota so good the last couple of years. And I think taking that away would hurt them in the long run. Now, I know Sham's report said that the Spurs were not at least finalists. And again, I don't know if that report about KD was true that he wanted to go to the Spurs. We'll see. But I guess just talking about it from a fit standpoint, if KD goes to the Spurs, cool. But why? I just don't see the point of why. Yeah, it's cool to play with Wemby, but that team's not ready to win a championship. You're going to the West. It's stacked. And I just feel like if you're San Antonio, what are you giving up? Are you potentially giving up that number 2 overall pick? I'm not doing that for an aging Kevin Durant. No way. So I just don't really understand the trade. If he really does want to play there, sure. But I just don't get why you would want to go to San Antonio. I just don't think they're ready yet to win a championship. And I don't really see the point of rushing this window with Wemby. I would just continue to acquire talent around him, keep making good signings here and there, maybe make another splash for a younger star, maybe Giannis if they want to go do that. But getting KD, I don't think it makes sense. So it would be cool on the court, but I just don't see the point. I don't think the 2 timelines of KD and the Spurs organization makes sense. And potentially giving up, serious assets for a guy that's only going to maybe be on the team for another year or two, I just don't see the point. So I just wanted to address the Spurs rumors, but it doesn't even look like they're finalists. So let's really hone in on those 3 teams. But that's how I got it. And again, I'm sure you guys can tell how I feel about all of these, but if I had to rank them, including the Spurs, I would go Rockets number 1. Would love to see him on the Rockets. I think the fit would be great. Then I would go Minnesota, but I'm not in love with it. Then I would go Spurs, and then I would go Heat, because why would you want to be in the Heat? I guess arguably it would make more sense to be on the Heat, just because you're in the East, it's weaker. There is more talent than with San Antonio, but I just why would you want to be on the Heat? They suck. I don't know. The Heat suck. So that's my thoughts on this whole thing. Hopefully the trade doesn't come out before I get this video out. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys on this one. Again, Where do you want KD to go? Where do you think he would be a good fit at? Like, just drop all those things down below in the comments. I will be reading them. I will be responding. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a like. If you like my type of content, feel free to subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.